Good evening and welcome to day 2. And today we would like to look at some personal relationship because during this COVID-19, we would have spent a little more time at home. And when you are every day being with our own people, our own family, there are certain things will resurface. When it resurfaces, we do not know what's going on. Why there is some kind of relational, I'm not able to communicate, I'm not able to be comfortable with. Therefore, I invite you to just take a look at some of the events that could happen in your life, within your family members or within your extended family. And sometimes we will just bundle up things. Something happens and we just bundle it up and we put it aside and say, that won't bother me. That won't bother me. Is it so? If something happened within the family, something not very positive in terms of relating with another person, can I say, that's over? That's over. Or can I say, like when you're tying your shoelace, of course to this day maybe not many of us use shoes, we just use sandals. When you're tying a shoelace and you tie it very tight, and therefore when you want to undo that particular shoe when you are coming back from work, it can be very annoying because it's too tight. Likewise, if this whatever knot that I may make in order to put this thing aside, out of at that moment, with some anger, I may even tie the knot so hard, and if I wanted to undo that knot and to re-look, what is that I'm putting aside? What is that I'm brushing aside? What is that I'm trying to ignore? Can a bad experience in life can just go away because I said so? Because I said, I want to forget about it. Is it possible? I think we need to look at those issues that could have come your way between spouses, could be father, mother, children, sibling among themselves, or sometimes even can be immediate neighbors. Because we can say, this is my family issue, but it can affect your immediate family, immediate neighbors, and sometimes something happening in the immediate neighbor family can also affect you. So we cannot say, that doesn't bother me. You may also come across within your neighborhood the migrant community, people who are coming to our country to work, and they also have some dealing with you, and you may have some bad experiences, and how do I deal with it? Sometimes I go to workplace. In the workplace, I may have some difficulty, and I bring back that issues to my own house, and within the house, I would say, I cannot do much about it because my family won't understand. So how do we go about during this period where we may have spending a lot of time within the family, so these issues can resurface very easily. Very easily, it can resurface. So how to look at issues as issues, not problems. What is problem? Every time when we say this word, I have a problem. And every time when I say, I have a very difficult issue to deal with. Is there a difference? One need to look at that. Every time when I say I have a problem, I don't know what to do with it. I have a problem, difficult to solve. And we say, I have an issue to deal with, but I have some difficulty. How can I seek help? How can I seek help? And I think good part of the time, the reason why we are not able to handle certain relationship issue or even personal issue or financial issue is simply because we put this label called problem. I have a problem. You are a problem. You are the one causing this problem. Problem. I invite you at this point of time. A problem often will be made up of several issues. When several issues are not attended to, when you put together, bundle them up, it becomes a problem. So before it becomes that bundled up problem, if I can look at issue by issue by issue and attend to them, in God's grace, we can work things out. So my humble invitation at this second day of sharing and reflecting, at personal level, who am I? Do I say to God, you have made the most ugliest man? Or am I going to say, God, you have made the most stupidest man in this world? I'm one of them. Or I'm the useless guy among my siblings. What am I saying to myself? What am I saying to myself? We earlier talked about God chose life for me. God chose my family for me. I did not choose them. And therefore, when I begin to look at myself, since I did not choose it, God, is your problem, your difficulty. You made me that way. What can I do about it? Let us stop and take a good look at ourselves. Am I one worth being appreciated? Am I a person that I myself have condemned already? Don't worry about condemning other people. Am I, in my own judgment, evaluation of myself, I've already condemned. So nothing can be done. So my humble invitation to begin your life looking at yourself and say, I am so and so. I am at this moment, this age. I am able to do this. I am planning. Make a list of things and just simply acknowledge that you are capable of those particular quality that you think of. Like almost looking before the mirror and talking to the mirror and say, you're the most wonderful guy. You are the person, there is no other person like you. You are a one and the only kind in the whole world. Begin to give yourself some affirmation, some appreciation, and accept yourself before expecting others to accept you. So once you discover this aspect of yourself as, I'm wonderful, I'm capable. Now this, I'm wonderful, I'm capable, this is what you're going to bring in your relationship to your brother or sister or father or mother, whoever it is. Therefore, the kind of valuation that I have myself going to affect my relationship with others. So, if Jesus, the Sacred Heart, have accepted me in his heart, has given me a place, he has not rejected me, who am I to reject me? Who am I to under-evaluate myself? So with this rethinking and relooking, I would want you to start life. Things that you have bundled up of yourself negatively and put it aside, open up Open up. Make some effort. Open up. Open up. It's possible. Open up. Open up. Yes, it can be open. It can be open. 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 Yeah, visible. Something that is been put aside. Now, if I can take a look and say, this is what it is. In this bundle, I have something hard, but it's beautiful. I thought it's just a stone, but it seemed to be some beauty. So if you could, in your imagination, things that you're bundled up and put it aside in your life, very negative image of yourself, re-look at yourself, give a positive stroke, and I believe the Holy Spirit will help you to do that. The Holy Spirit will affirm you the way Jesus was affirmed at the baptism. This is my beloved Son, I'm well pleased. Allow God to tell you that. When you are renewing your baptismal consecration, as often as you can, especially on Sunday liturgy, when you do the I believe, renew your baptismal consecration, baptismal promises, and begin to feel God is telling you the same thing that Jesus was heard at the baptism of Jordan. You are my beloved Son. You are my beloved daughter. Allow Him to say that. So saying that, you will discover, as a beloved, you have a place in the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And therefore, if you have place, and all those who are connected with you, they also got a place in the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So every family member that you can connect with meaningfully, you can connect it with Jesus too. With that, I would like to look at the third point of financial matter. How do I look at money in my life? How important money in my life? What do I do about money? Do I say money is not important? Money is everything. What do I do? Sometime I think in the COVID invasion period or the infection period, some people may have lost their job. Some people would have gone through a very serious kind of situation where their daily income could be affected. What can you do? If you directly are affected by this COVID period and you lost your job, what to do? You know someone in your family lost job and earning capacity, what can you do? Is that end of the world? Is that end of the world? And I think this is where, when I begin to see myself, I have this capacity, I'm not useless bum, I am a person of value, I am a gift from God, and together with my family members, even though I have lost my job, even though I lost my earning capacity, I am confident this connection that I have with my family, I can restart. So when this family can build itself in terms of economic needs, and sometimes it means also I live with minimum. I'm not looking for extras. I'm not going to say I'm going to have a luxury lifestyle, but together with the family and the little that we have, developing the sharing ability, because sharing makes plenty. Because the moment when we say, I need money. Without money, I can do nothing. Simply, we are saying, I have not experienced this quality called sharing. I don't think my family is ready to share the little we have. My neighborhood does not have this value called sharing. Therefore, the more money I have, the more things I can provide for myself, the more I can provide for my family. So the ability to share is not there. So I think when we want to talk about healing myself, preparing myself better, I'm not looking at wanting to have more, and that will make me happy. Not necessarily. But the little that I have, I will share with my immediate family, and I will encourage my family to share with others, and a community that shares the little will be happy. I think the greatest gospel passage, if you want to look at it, when the widow offered the little that she had, the little she had. What confidence she must have in order to share the little coin that she had, simply because she had some faith that she will be taken care of. It will be provided for in due time. And therefore, where do I stand when it comes to this value of sharing? Value of sharing. Value of sharing. So take time as and possible. Let this concept of economic sense, money, it is not having more, but is ability to share the little that we have. So everyone around us, even if they had just one meal a day, everyone would have had one meal, but they can be happy. But if someone else wants to hold back the little that he has, and therefore he may have 3 meals, but the surrounding people may not have 3 meals. As a result, when your surrounding is not happy, that unhappiness can flow into your life. So then, make the choice, develop this capacity for sharing, more than wanting to have more. When I have more, I can share, not necessarily. So I wish you that the remaining times of this preparation for your feast day, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Nobody is asking you to give everything that you have. Nobody is saying you must give this amount. No. But according to your capacity, learn to share. Develop the sharing capacity in you. And I think all of us have this ability to share. No one among us who can say, I cannot share. I think Mother Teresa's famous words are, no one is so rich, he or she has nothing to receive. No one is so rich that he or she have nothing to receive. And I'm sure there are a lot of wealthy people, a lot of everything materially they have, but they are looking for simple, compassionate companions and friends and that kind of thing they are in need. Likewise, Mother Teresa will say, no one is so poor. No one is so poor that he or she have nothing to give. There is no one is so poor that he or she has nothing to give. So then, at this time of COVID invasion or COVID affection or whatever infection, let us see where we are. Where have we grown to become persons who are willing to share? Share materially, share my precious time, share whatever spiritual communion that we can have. Because every day, being at home, we have this wonderful personal conviction. I'm not alone. I'm not alone in the struggle to face COVID-19, but I'm very much united with the whole world. I'm in communion with the whole world, and therefore I am not going to just suffer alone. I'm not going to make it look like I'm the only one, the difficult situation. I let go, let God show me the way. Especially the compassionate Sacred Heart allow me to journey with Him, discover that He is very welcoming. He is ever reminding us there is room for everyone in His Sacred Heart. Let's create a very inclusive communities, inclusive families, so everyone in the family could feel